Yo, what is up everybody? Joshua Casper back at you with Plugin Boutique, and I've got something extra special for you today. Primarily, we're going to be taking a look at the new kontakt drum sequencer from Wave Alchemy called TRIAZ. It is a massive library, 10,000 samples inside of it, and it's got a brand new engine. It was designed from the ground up to allow more than one instance, so multiple instances with super efficient CPU and RAM usage. So on top of all the samples, you also get over 600 production-ready presets. Each one of the drum slots in your normal drum machine can actually have 3 different samples inside of it, which you can manipulate and mix between, making a very rich sound design environment. And the sequencer's got note repeat, stutter, probabilistic chance, start offset, and so much more. It's got tons of built-in effects. You can drag and drop in your own samples, multi-audio output, MIDI output, and so much more. So like I said, that's the focus of this video. But in the process of deciding how I should approach this video, I found an incredible relationship between TRIAZ and some RAWCUTZ Ableton Live packs that you can grab on Loopmasters. So before we jump into running through TRIAZ, what I'm going to show you is inside of Ableton Live here. All of this is just MIDI to trigger TRIAZ, and all of these are different Ableton Live templates from RAWCUTZ. They're pre-made. When you download the pack, you can load them right up inside of Ableton, or you can get the samples if you want to do it that way, in whatever DAW you're working with. But what I've done is inside of these, I've just muted the drums, and all we have is sort of the melodic bass and effect content. And watch what happens. I'm just going to play you through the line here and just listen to how good this is. So all the drums are coming from TRIAZ, and all of the samples are coming from those RAWCUTZ sample packs. Is that not insane? Now, I've only played 4 of the different RAWCUTZ packs. I'm just going to jump into some of these 600 presets, right, inside of these drum kits. I'm on lo-fi, and I'm just going to choose one essentially at random here. Just go early riser. I don't know what this is. I mean, there are too many for me to have checked out them all before the video, but let's see what it sounds like with this drum kit preset with those samples now. I mean, let's just flip to the next one. I don't even know. If you're not on board with this, I don't know what gets you excited about stuff, but I am floored by how good these two, the pack and this instrument, go together. Obviously, I said we got 600 presets inside of here. We got drum and bass, electronica, house, lo-fi, pop and disco, rap, techno. Let's just try out a rap one. I haven't even tried these out yet. Rap does have a more diverse kind of BPM range. I'm around 95 BPM, so let's just check out Sad Sobriety and see what it sounds like again. You can't go wrong with this. You cannot go wrong with this. So I'm going to leave links to TRIAZ and links to that RAWCUTZ pack. It's called Boom Black Complete. I don't know. There's something like 10 Ableton Live. There might even be more than 10. You're going to have to check out the details. Just check that link in the video description. If the music you hear right now is something you like, you need to combine these two because it's going to blow your mind. But without getting too carried away with how excited I am about that, I'm going to jump back into lo-fi and again, just load up a random one. It's just so insane how everyone sounds awesome. But let's talk about TRIAZ. So like I said in the beginning of the video, 10,000 samples in the library. They're all expertly crafted. Wave Alchemy are known for having high quality samples, especially drums. They have a few other drum instruments out. They've got really great analog sample packs, I believe available on Loop Masters as well, but 10,000 samples to get you started, and you can drag and drop in your own. Now, one of the cool and unique things about this, if I come into the sound tab over here and come to the kick, that's the kick. But what this kick is actually 3 different samples mixed together. We have this A, B, C. It's essentially an XY pad where we can mix between them. When it's right in the middle like that, you're going to get an equal amount of all 3. And that is obviously dependent on the volume. Each one has its own unique volume slider, but really, we can move it around. And we can easily come in to say the C here, jump into some of the presets. All right, that's great. Come out of it. Look at that, sounds so good. And all we've done is, again, we're pretty much randomly selected samples to put together. So each one of these has 3 layers to choose from. Each one of the layers has your envelope control, a pitch control with LFO, and filter options as well on a per layer basis. Then we can jump over to the sequencer, and we've got your note input with velocity, essentially. You can also use the one down here. So if I was on my sound and working with my tom, for example, which is really... So the hi-hat, I've got the sequencer at my disposal down here at the bottom. But on the sequencer, we can tackle them all at the same time with the grid sequencer. We do have randomized. Just hit this right here. We can zoom in to see everything. We can change how quickly each one of these represents, how many bars it is. We can completely get rid of anything, solo the channel, mute the channel. Pretty standard stuff. We can also jump into repeat. Again, as long as we... Let's just come into this right here. Let's solo this. I guess we gotta mute this, solo the channel. It's not the best one to... Let's solo this one. Okay, so if we're on repeat, we input it just like we would a sample, but now it's just gonna repeat wherever we put that in. So the more repeats, the less. That's so good. So we got that, and we also have the probability. So if I don't always want to roll there, but I want it to come in on its like own accord, sometimes yes, sometimes no, I just put in the probability slider here, and that time it didn't happen. That time it didn't happen. So you can decide how much or how probable it is for that to happen and just put that in there. And then you can also offset the start time by bringing it forward or pushing it back with the start time slider here. Now we can jump in here and really get some intricate mapping for the keyboard if you want to, if you're a finger drummer or whatever. You also have mixer controls down here with your standard delay and reverb sends, which you have control over inside of here. We do have 2 different reverbs, an A and a B. Do I still have that soloed? Yeah, let's unsolo them. Come back in. Channel effects, again, we've got a compressor, an equalizer, and then a tonal shaper over here, including some crushing, bit crushing, sample reducer, and stereoizer. And then we have master effects at the end with an EQ, compressor, and a shaper as well. We do have multi-output control, so if you want to be able to add your own effects to individual drums without having to export anything, you can do that there. And the other really cool thing about this library is if I come in here and I hit this right here, first of all, I can randomize this until I find one that I like. I can lock it down from randomization, or if I click right here, I can actually randomize or lock so many different ways. So first of all, I can do randomize options, randomize the sample on the current layer. It's essentially what we were just doing with this button. Or I can randomize all the samples on the current channel. So that would be all three of these at the same time. Or I can randomize the current layer on all channels, or I can randomize the entire drum kit. Let's again see what that sounds like with some of those raw cuts. So let's jump in and check out some of these other presets. Let's check out some techno ones. And this time it's probably not going to work well with my RAWCUTZ, but just to give you a full idea of what the entire library is rather than just kind of the trip hoppy thing. I'm going to bring my BPM up to 130. Let's also check out some drum and bass. And now some house presets. Anyway, there you go. That's a quick run through of TRIAZ, and my personal takeaway that if you get that in the Boom Black Complete sample pack from RAWCUTZ, I mean, you're just going to have a good time. But that's not to say that you can do whatever you want with this drum instrument library, because 10,000 sounds, 600 presets, and all sorts of genres and flavors. I mean, the sky is the limit. Add to that the flexibility with randomizing drum patterns, randomizing drum sounds, and so forth. And really, it's just a great instrument to give you creativity and give you the ability to really dig in and get things exactly how you want them once you're on the right path. Anyway, as usual, links in the description for everything. I'm Joshua Casper here for Plugin Boutique. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next video.